Registration of newcomers to the school and other important information. My child's registration at school. If this is your first experience in enrolling your child at school, it is important to know that registration always takes place at either the commission scolaire or school board or at the school. Your child may go to a school in your neighborhood, or if additional support in French is needed, may be directed to a school that is further away from your home. For first-time registrations at a Quebec school, an official document must be provided with the legal surname, first name, and other names of the student, the sex, date, and place of birth, and the first and last names of the parents. All this information must be included on the official document. If this is not the case, an additional document is required containing the information missing from the official document. Upon registration, you will require proof of residency in your neighborhood. Some schools accept a rental lease, while others require an invoice from your telephone or electric company. Once your child is enrolled in a school, their registration must be renewed every year. Simply fill out the form that the school will send home. Your child's first interview. Hospitality for newcomers differs from one school board to another and from one school to another. Parents and their children are at times invited by the school for an initial interview to get to know your child better. During this meeting, you may be asked to provide information on your family's migratory experience, as well as the history of your child's education, health, or interests. If your child has an illness or a particular problem, it is recommended to mention this to the person in charge of the interview. If you have other documents, like old school reports, exams, or professional evaluations, do not hesitate to show them. This meeting may also be an opportunity for you to ask questions. Your child's evaluation. If your child is attending school in Quebec for the first time, his speech proficiency in spoken French will be evaluated, and if he already speaks some French, his reading and writing. Such assessments in French are not tests that students pass or fail. They simply evaluate the child's proficiency in French and define the services needed. It is also possible that your child be evaluated in mathematics or in his mother tongue. Support services for newcomers and French language learners. Based on the results of this evaluation, your child may be able to receive additional support in learning the French language. This service permits students to learn French and become familiar with the teaching methods in Quebec. The goal is to prepare your child to follow teaching in all subjects. The additional assistance given to learn French can take place in different ways. For example, your child can be integrated into a welcome class with other students who need to learn French. Your child can be put in a regular classroom and receive support to learn French a few hours a week during the school day. Whatever the chosen approach, the programs put the accent on learning French and mathematics, as well as the child's integration into the school and Quebec society. Integration into a classe d'accueil. A classe d'accueil, or welcome class, is a class that combines those newly arrived students to Quebec. The time a child remains in this type of class varies according to the student's needs. Your child might integrate into a regular classroom during the school year if he is able to follow the class curriculum. The classe d'accueil provides an intensive French language learning experience. Since the language of instruction is in French, the learning of the language is very important for student success in every school subject. In major cities like Montreal, most newly arrived non-francophone students receive help in learning French in a classe d'accueil at the elementary and secondary levels. Integration into regular classes. In the regions of Quebec where there are fewer immigrants, your child might be integrated immediately into regular classes. Your child will receive assistance in learning French. However, the way this is done, how often, and for how long will vary according to the student's needs and how the school is structured. Integration into regular classes with assistance in learning French is the model most often used in the outlying regions of Quebec. Different types of support exist depending on the area where you live. The school calendar. In elementary and secondary schools, the school year usually begins in late August and ends in late June. Students go to school from Monday to Friday. Classes usually start between 8 and 9 a.m. and end between 3 and 4 p.m. However, the schedule can vary depending on the school. Extracurricular activities, or activités parascolaires, such as sports, theater workshops, and homework clubs, are sometimes offered outside of school hours. These activities are usually held at lunch and after the last class. At the beginning of the school year, your child's school will provide you with an annual school calendar. The calendar will contain important dates, such as parent-teacher interviews or days off. Students are on vacation during the Christmas holidays, New Year's Day, and in March during a week called the Semaine de relâche scolaire, or spring break. Your child will also have 20 or so days off called journées pédagogiques, or pedagogical days. The dates vary according to the commission scolaire, or school boards, and the school. School expenses. Access to education is free until cégep, or college. But parents should still prepare themselves for the expenses of school supplies and other school services. The school will provide parents with a list of school supplies to buy and might ask parents to pay for additional supplies such as the school agenda. If needed, it is also important to include in your budget the cost of certain services like school daycare or lunch supervision. This also applies to field trips and extracurricular activities. If your child's high school requires students to wear a uniform or follow a dress code, you must also cover this expense. Health at school. If there is a problem or an emergency, it is very important that the school be able to contact you. This is why you must inform the school when you move or change your phone number during the school year. It is also very important to tell the school if your child has any allergies, dietary restrictions, or chronic diseases. It is possible that you will be asked during the school year if you want your child to be vaccinated at the same time as the other school children. If you want your child to receive the vaccination, you must sign the authorization sent by the school. Since there are 4 seasons in Quebec and the temperature varies greatly, it is easy to check the weather before sending your children off to school. In this way, you can dress your children according to the current temperature. Quebec winters are cold. When it is cold, it is recommended to wear several layers of clothing and to cover the head, hands, and feet with a scarf, mittens, boots, and a good hat. Other school services. School daycare. In elementary schools, a service de garde or daycare is available in the mornings before school, at lunch, and after school. You must pay for this service. Attending daycare allows children to learn the language, socialize, and integrate into their new environment in a different way. Lunch supervision. Your child can eat his lunch at school or at home if the school is not too far from where you live. If your child is in elementary school and has to eat lunch at school, you must pay for the supervision during that period of time and prepare a meal in a lunchbox. Most high schools have a cafeteria where your child can buy a meal if he does not bring his lunch. School transportation. Your child might walk, take the school bus, or use public transportation to get to school. Ask the school to know how your child should get there. If your child takes a school bus, the school might ask you to be present at the bus stop. It is important to be at the stop 10 minutes before the time the bus arrives or leaves. This concludes our module on the registration of newcomers to the school and provides other useful information for parents. We invite you to visit our 3 other modules on education